Psychological pain is created entirely by the drive to prevent psychological pain. Our search for the end of pain is useless because the source of the pain is that which is searching. The dividing of the world into a me and you, the very isolation of separation, is inherently painful. The me rants and raves, churning out thought after thought, trying in an ever more panicked manner to find the end of psychological pain. We try therapy, drugs, religion, spirituality, meditation, but nothing seems to work. It can't work because the doer, the one who wants to get better, is the problem. The me is the pain. The end of pain can come only when the me, the separation, the isolation, comes to an end. Psychological pain can only come to an end when the resistance to the movement of life comes to an end. Now the bare actuality can emerge, freed from our futile sorting of psychological experiences into good and bad, painful and pleasurable, like and dislike. Until then, we run like gerbils in our caged exercise wheel, running away from and toward the very creation of our minds, psychological time. No matter what we do, however much energy we expend, we always end up at the same point. We find pleasure. It turns to discomfort. We run from the discomfort to a new pleasure. That pleasure turns to discomfort. Soon, even the idea of losing the pleasure becomes painful. We run faster. There isn't much time. Can we see the pattern? The endless cycle of psychological thought time? Can we stand absolutely still on the wheel and stop spinning? Can psychological time, the endless becoming, the drive to pleasure that becomes pain, come to a still point? This stillness is not devoid of endless neurotic thoughts. It's simply unmoved by them. This is a simple but fundamentally radical relationship to the thoughts, feelings, and sensations that typically drive our actions. We are not trying to rid ourselves of anything. We are not trying to create a blank state. The quiet that we have come to is a non-reactive state. It's not particularly interested in evaluating what is arising in our field of awareness. Now we are simply being. The world of thought, the world of reality, is in motion. The world of concrete time, the organization of change by thought, is still in motion, but we are not in motion, because in the discovery of stillness, we also discover the end of psychological time. This still point resides in each of us and is accessible in any moment, without meditation or help. It occurs spontaneously when we see the repetitive cycle of craving and aversion generated through the illusion of psychological time, and when we know that we have gone around the wheel enough. This point of recognition is a doorway to actuality, through which we have already stepped. What happens now is our first full contact with the bare fact of our life, the discovery of what it is to be a human being. Other extremely heavy considerations on the nature of mind and reality. The nature of thought is such that it creates a thinker. This is a very odd phenomenon, but it is the very core of our personal conflict and the fragmented social structures that have grown out of our existential confusion. The thinker doesn't create the thought. Thought creates the thinker. Each thought or feeling that occurs to us brings with it the idea of self, of a central, integrated entity that is generating the thoughts and feelings. But is this center actual? Is there a self, a me? And if so, where can it be found? We quickly answer that this me is our body, or our brain, or our mind, or our soul. But let us investigate this question carefully and thoroughly before we answer. Experiment. Sit comfortably in any way you like. Bring your attention to your thoughts, concepts, emotions, sensations, and so forth. Look very carefully at the point of occurrence. that is, where the thought begins, and also to the point of decay, where the thought ends. Where does a thought come from and where does it go? Is there anything that is stimulating, generating, or constructing a thought? Is there anything that directly connects one thought to the next, other than a new thought that has as its content the concept of connection? Experiment. Sit comfortably in any way you like. Bring your attention to your thoughts. Can you observe what it is that gives you the sense of ownership of the thoughts that occur? What makes a thought, feeling, or sensation me? Is this sense of me-ness a thought form, an aspect of each thought as it occurs, or something else altogether?